evening, friends. I hope you and your family are safe and well. Last lectures in our Goods and Service Tax Act GST, we have discussed about the time of supply, value of supply, and place of supply. And we have discussed the one of the important element. It was composite supply and mixed supply. And we have discussed the various kinds of examples, and we have discussed the example wise terminology of the time of place of supply. Now today we are going to learn one of the important topic, one of the important module, and this module is very important for exam point of view. Now friends, you have an exam in the next month, in the month of May you have an exam, and TYBCom semester 6 exam probably start from 6 May 2021. And one more thing I want to announce you, those who will be the repeater, semester 5th exam we will start from 24th May 2021. So you have a exam, and this exam will start, our regular exam, 6th semester exam will start from 6th May 2021. So we have a very good time for study our one of the prestigious subject, that is GST. So let us discuss further. Now friends, today we are going to learn input tax credit, ITC, input tax credit under goods and service tax. Now friends, input tax credit means reducing the taxes already paid on inputs, input means purchases, and from tax to be paid on output, that is sales. Now friends, whenever the manufacturer, wholesaler, retailer, they purchase the goods, that time they will pay the taxes. Same goods, if they sell, that time also they will pay the taxes. So these are two-time taxes, that is a cascading effect. Cascading effect means pay the GST at the time of purchase and pay the GST at the time of sale. परचेस करते वेळेचा टॅक्स आणि सेल करते वेळेचा टॅक्स, हे जे दोन वेळा टॅक्स आपण भरतो. वी आर पेइंग द टॅक्सेस टू टाइम्स इन अ सेम गुड्स at the time of purchase, at the time of sale. Therefore, this concept is introduced and it is called as an input tax credit. Under input tax credit आपण काय करतो, सेलच्या टॅक्समधून परचेसचा टॅक्स वजा करतो. वी विल डिडक्ट द परचेस टॅक्स फ्रॉम सेल टॅक्स. We will deduct purchase at the time of purchase GST from sales GST. That is called as a input tax credit. Input tax credit चा सिंपल अर्थ आहे, परचेस करते वेळेस दिलेल्या टॅक्सला सेल करते वेळेस दिलेल्या टॅक्स मधून डिडक्ट करा. And whatever tax will be there, it will be liability and we have to pay. Now, so today we are going to learn under this particular lecture, that is input tax credit. Now, input tax means what? There is a tax charge on taxable person at the time of supply of the goods and services. Whenever the supply of the goods and services is there and taxable person supplying their goods and services, he has to pay the taxes. That is called as the input tax. Now chapter 5th of the CGST Act, Section 16 to Section 21, and Chapter 5th Input Tax Credit of the CGST Rules. Rule 36 to 45 prescribe the provisions relating to the input tax credit. State GST laws also prescribe identical provisions in relation to input tax credit. Now friends, we will study some practical about the how we will implement input tax credit. Before starting this practical, we will discuss some concepts which is required whenever we have to solve problems. Now let us discuss some simple terminology, that is aggregate turnover under section 2 subsection 6. Now we already discussed this, but we should know about aggregate turnover. It includes the all taxable supplies, exempt supplies, export of goods or services or both, some interstate supplies, and the person having same permanent account number, they can compute it on all India basis, but not includes central tax, state tax, and union territory tax, integrated tax, and sales. That is called as a aggregate turnover. Now one more concept is there. It is very important for exam point of view. That is capital goods. Section 2 subsection 19. What do you mean by capital goods? Goods the value of which is capitalized in the books of accounts of the person, and they can claiming the input tax credit. It means input tax credit applicable on capital goods and which are used or intend to be used in the course or furtherance of the business. That is called capital goods. Now some small concepts are there that we have to understand first. That is input tax credit. It means credit of input tax. Electronic cash ledger. It means the electronic cash ledger which refer to in subsection 1 of the section 49. Electronic credit ledger. It means the electronic credit ledger referred to in subsection 2 of the section 49. Now next concept is there, that is exempt supplies. Section 2 subsection 47 of CGST Act. It means the supply of goods or services or both which attracts nil rate of tax. Now this you have to keep in mind, there is no tax for exempt goods, which may be wholly exempt from tax, or Integrated Goods and Service Tax Act under section 6, and includes non-taxable supplies. It is called exempt supplies. Now one more concept is there, input. What do you mean by input? Input means what? Input means any goods other than capital goods used or intend to be used by the supplier in the course or furtherance of the business. Now input services means what? It means any services use or intend to be used by a supplier in the course or furtherance of business. Now, one more definition that we are going to learn, that is input service distributor, section 2 subsection 61, means an office of the supplier of goods or services or both, which receive tax invoices issued under section 31 towards the receipts of the input services and issues a prescribed document for the purposes of distributing the credit of central tax, state tax, integrated tax or union territory tax paid on the said services to the suppliers of taxable goods or services or both having same permanent account number as that of the said office. That is called input tax distributor. Now, one more important concept is there, that is input tax. In relation to a registered person, means the central tax, state tax, integrated tax, union territory tax charge on any supply of goods or services or both made to him and includes integrated goods and services tax charge on import of the goods, sometime tax payable under the provision of section 9 subsection 3 and subsection 4, tax payable under the provision of the section 5 subsection 3 and 4 of the Integrated Goods and Service Tax Act, and tax payable under the provision of the section 9 subsection 3 and 4 of the respective state goods and service tax act, and tax payable under the provision of the section 7 subsection 3 and 4 of the Union Territory Goods and Service Tax Act. So it is called as input tax, but does not include tax paid under the composition levy. Now, composition levy that we will discuss is a separate unit is there, separate model is there, but you have to keep in mind input tax credit, it is not applicable to composition levy, composition tax. I hope you understood this input tax. Now friends, these are all, we can say that these are all concepts which are very important. What you have to do, you have to see these video lectures again, and you should write these lectures, you should write the notes in your notebook. Next lectures, whenever we will talk about the input tax credit, we will study some sections and rules, and we will solve some different type of practical problem regarding the input tax credit. So friends, I hope you understood the basic concept of the various kinds of terminology under input tax credit. Okay, bye.